Okay, hello everyone. So, just to give you a little bit of context about this video, I recently had a Yoni massage experience that was quite frankly shit, and I was pretty devastated. Obviously, I'm a practitioner. I do yoni mapping therapy, which involves yoni massage, and so I was especially devastated that this experience had been lacking in so many ways because, I don't want yoni massage to get a bad name. It kind of made me think, fuck, like, what if a poor, hapless soul who's never experienced yoni massage is really nervous, maybe really vulnerable, maybe needing extra support with something, had rocked up to a session like this, what effect would that have had? They might come out thinking, okay, that was a yoni massage. Maybe there's something wrong with me, like I didn't do it right, or I wasn't able to receive the benefits because I'm broken, or I'm at fault. Or maybe they might have come out thinking yoni massage and yoni mapping is bullshit, obviously, because what the fuck was that all about, So I just wanted to set the record straight about what I would, expect and hope that you would experience if you did have some kind of internal body work like a yoni massage, because I just felt like this experience was irresponsible. I mean, luckily I've got pretty good self-esteem. I know what to expect in that sort of a situation, so I can hold myself. But some people who come to these sessions are incredibly vulnerable or have some really deep trauma, boundary issues, all sorts of things. So I was pretty butthurt, and I want to talk about it. I want to have a little event, but also just give you a heads up about what isn't acceptable, and what I would hope that you could expect, because it is quite an unregulated realm. Tantric bodywork, sacred sexuality, yoni masuras. There's more and more, and it can be murky. Like, you could do a weekend workshop or an online yoni massage course and call yourself a tantric practitioner and all of a sudden be charging money and holding space for clients when you aren't in integrity or you don't actually know what the fuck you're doing. On the other hand, there's a lot of really incredible tantric practitioners and incredible body workers who, like, I totally trust and are highly trained and amazing. So I guess it's just important that you go off a sort of personal recommendation, or you do a lot of research and you chat with the person first and you really vibe with them. Anyway, I went and had this experience. I like to go and get bodywork regularly as a way to keep me topping myself up and maintaining that, and also for professional development. I love going and seeing how other practitioners work. I feel like it really enhances my skill set and the way that I operate as a practitioner as well. So anyway, I go and have what I was really excited. Thought it was going to be a dope session. And in this practitioner's defense, or just to highlight that it wasn't horrible. She wasn't a bad person. I did feel like she was passionate about the work, and I felt safe with her. I liked her energy. She set up the space beautifully. There was gorgeous stuff like a foot bath with some pedals and a yoni steam and things like that, and I was like, sick, this is going to be awesome. I'm loving this. So much self-care going on right now. I was pumped. But then it kind of all started falling apart a little bit because, firstly, there wasn't a whole lot of talk between the two of us before the bodywork. So there was a little bit of like a cursory, like, okay, give me a bit of your history and why you've come. But we probably only chatted for like 15 minutes or something. And for me, personally, in my sessions, I spend at least an hour over a pot of tea, getting to know my client, figuring out where they're at, how I can support them the best, what their sexual history is, any trauma history, what their current relationship with themselves and their sexuality and their vaginas, like all of that. We cover a lot. we have a pretty extensive chat before we approach the bodywork, and that is for the purpose of me, gleaning information about them that's going to help me support them to the best of my ability. And also, we're gaining rapport, we are building trust, they're sinking into a deeper state of relaxation, they're starting to feel more comfortable with me. We're kind of calibrating to one another's energy. So that's really important, that's essential for me. I would never neglect that. I do that every single time. And this practitioner didn't really spend that much time on that. That's okay for me. I was like, cool, like I know why I'm here and I know what to expect from this work, so it's chill. But then she also didn't pre-frame what was going to happen in the bodywork. So I always pre-frame really specifically how it's going to run, what's going to go down. I'll explain exactly what goes on in the bodywork and the sequence of things. So there's no sudden movements, there's no, surprises. They know exactly what to expect. They know that at every step of the way they're in control and they can, slow things down or stop if they need to. I'm communicating with them as I go, and they know that that's how it's going to be. So they ideally feel really safe and really empowered because it's going to be a collaboration between the two of us. And they know, I'm not going to touch their yoni without asking permission first and without doing this, this, and this first. And then when we do get to that point, I will check in with them, blah, 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 blah. So anyway, that was neglected. Still, I was like, it could be dope. Like, maybe she's just not pre-framing because she knows that I'm a practitioner, so she doesn't need to give me a heads up. But yeah, then the bodywork, I'm sorry to say, was really sorely lacking. And there wasn't a whole lot of full body touch. There wasn't a whole lot of, I guess massage in other, sorry, I'm getting distracted because little things are popping up on my phone. I've never done a live before. No full body touch. My top half was fully clothed still, and she kind of just got me to take my pants off and hop up on the table and spread them. So a little bit of shoulder massage, a little bit of touch around the rest of the body, but not a lot. And then, just was sort of like, okay, I'm going to put some oil on your labia, and then I'm just going to hold a finger at the entrance and let me know when you're ready for me to come inside. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, are you kidding me? Like, where is the rest of the massage? I haven't had a chance to really drop into my body. You haven't touched the rest of me. My biggest thing that helps me and that I make sure I spend a lot of time on, helps me relax, helps the muscles and ligaments relax, helps the encourage better blood flow to the pelvic bowl, is massage around the area, like the inner thighs in particular, the pelvic area, the glutes, the abdomen. I spend a lot of time there after a full body massage, mind you, to help the person drop into their parasympathetic nervous system, help them relax, help them feel safe, help them get used to my energy and my touch, really gradually ease them towards yoni touch. There's so much that I make sure that I pay attention to and do before I touch the yoni at all, let alone go inside. Like, damn. So, no inner thigh touch, nothing like that. And then no vulva touch, like no external yoni massage at all, which is mind-blowing to me. I don't understand how someone can be trained in this work without paying attention to the vulva and starting to massage the external yoni. It's a pretty important part of it. And it helps, like I said, it helps ease the person into the experience and get used to your touch, get used to having someone in that really private, delicate, vulnerable area. And so it's really important. Like, I work my way from the outside inwards and I do a full body massage first, lots of pelvic, abdominal, hip and inner thigh massage to prepare the pelvic space by loosening up and releasing tension in all those areas that link up and join into the pelvic bowl. And then some external vulva massage and touch as well. Very important part before you expect to then, have the body feel ready for you to enter. So, yeah, she just was kind of like, cool, I'm just gonna pop a finger in. Are you cool with that? She didn't use those words, but yeah, it was quite jarring, and I couldn't quite believe it really. But anyway, the internal work was the sort of final nail in the coffin really, because it was super brief, probably 15 minutes maximum. She actually spent inside my pelvic space, inside the vagina, which to me is just not sufficient. I feel as though the work doesn't even begin after the first 10 minutes, because the yoni is just getting used to there being something inside putting pressure and like moving around. It can be a little bit of a like, oh okay, like a bit of a shock, or ideally it wouldn't be, but if you haven't done all of the sort of stuff beforehand, then it's definitely going to be jarring, which it was for me. And in my sessions, I spend at least 30 to 40 minutes inside the vagina doing internal massage, because I know from experience that it takes a while before those tissues start to soften and relax and actually allow you to go deeper and give a more comprehensive massage. And for those spaces to awaken and for fresh blood flow to rush into the area, which will then stimulate the nerves and make those areas more sensitive, so that the person can feel more sensation and feel where I am and what I'm doing. And so I just felt like this little quick sweep around I was like, what are you trying to achieve here? That's not going to give me enough time. You're not staying in one place long enough, or giving me enough time to really drop into it, or, actually release any emotion or trauma that I might be storing there. Or, I guess the pressure she used also was so soft that I couldn't feel it at all. And I definitely felt like it wasn't firm enough and going deep enough to release any tension, because we store so much, like tension and holding patterns in our pelvic floor. So a big part of why I went to have this body work was to release tension from my pelvic floor, get a really thorough massage, and then, removing the physical tension, assisting that to release, often comes with emotional and energetic releases as well. So it was pretty lackluster, the internal work. I sort of thought, fuck, like you're not going to really get anywhere with that kind of brief mosey around. And then it was over. I was pretty wham bam, thank you ma'am. So, how I would have approached that is just so different, and I feel as though my clients get so much more from the experience, because it's so much more, gentle, it's gradual, we take a lot of time, we really spend enough time so that they can drop into their parasympathetic and develop trust and comfortability with me. And then only after that does the real deep work start becoming possible. The other thing that I wanted to mention is, it's actually really funny to me, if it wasn't also kind of sad, but basically I fell victim to the exact thing that I'm always reminding clients not to do, which is I said, yep, I let her enter me with a finger before I was ready, and when my body really didn't want it, because I was just like, oh, fuck it, like I came here for a reason and to get this body work. Maybe I need to give her the benefit of the doubt, and the internal work will be incredible, but I'm always saying to clients, hey, there's this crazy thing that's going to happen, and it's really common. I want you to look out for it. Sometimes your head's saying one thing, like, oh, like I came all this way, I paid all this money, all my friends are excited to hear how it went, and I said I was going to come and do this. So I want to have the full experience. I want to go through with it. Like, let's do it. But all the while your body and your vagina in particular might be saying, fuck off. I don't want anything inside me, and no, I'm not ready to have penetration, And so I'm always kind of making sure we're staying on top of that and really paying attention to what the body wants. And so I will never push inwards or sort of force my way in or push my finger in. I literally, and I tell my clients this, I literally hold my finger at the entrance, I ask them permission, and if they verbally say yes, great. But nothing is going any further unless I get an okay from their body. And that comes in the form of, them breathing, being really present with themselves and conscious, and me holding a finger at the entrance. And then if their yoni softens around my finger, or sometimes it will draw me in, only then do we go in and start the internal work. And that can take a minute, it can take 10 minutes, or I might get a no, like I might just feel a bit of a wall there and the yoni doesn't invite me inside, no matter what the voice of the client is saying. So that's something that I think is really fundamental and important, and that's essential to empower the client and their body to be in control. So yeah, anyway, I kind of betrayed myself in that instance and did exactly what I warned people not to do, which is ignored my body and said, yeah, come on, let's do it. Even though I was all up in my head being like, what the fuck, what's happening? As if she's going to the internal work already. I didn't even have any, wine and dine me first. Come on. And I would have much preferred some more massage and some more time to relax and some external yoni massage and some inner thigh massage. I would have preferred all of that before allowing the internal work to take place. But surprise, surprise, even as a fucking practitioner who knows this shit, I still, drop the ball sometimes. And I was like, well, it's not going to do that much damage. Let's just give it a go. And, lucky for me, it didn't do me a whole lot of damage. I'm sort of on top of it with that kind of thing. I can go, yep, that wasn't your finest moment, Freya. Maybe next time have your own back a bit more, but it's okay. But if it was someone who was in a really vulnerable space or had never experienced this kind of work or had issues with boundaries and had issues with saying no to people, a classic people-pleasing kind of temperament, there's just so many instances where that situation could have backfired a lot worse and been really detrimental to the client. So that in itself was a worry to me. And yes, obviously I'm a little bit more critical about how other practitioners work in this space because I do it and I'm really passionate about it and I'm fucking great at it. I know I'm good at what I do and I make sure that I observe all of those precautions that I spoke about. And I can't help but analyze, the way that this session went down based on my knowledge and experience as a practitioner, but I just wanted to, speak about it, shine some light on it in case it comes in handy to some of you, or even if you just find it interesting. It's good to normalize this sort of stuff and talk about it, and also to admit that even as a practitioner who thinks she's got her shit together half the time at least, I can still fall into those classic, just make some pretty classic mistakes, or those pitfalls will still apply to me. And it's important that I talk about it as well. And, hopefully this is supportive for you and helpful for you. So, yeah, definitely get in touch if you've had a similar experience or if you've had an experience that is, still affecting you. That was, luckily for me, it wasn't all that horrific, I was a bit butthurt. But for the most part, it wasn't as bad as a lot of the horror stories I've heard from clients. So if you've had an experience that's been really disempowering or traumatic, or that you are struggling to integrate or process, or you just like to chat about it, I'm so here to listen. I'm so here for you to ask questions. So please get in touch. Hope this was useful. Congratulations to me for my first Instagram live, which is scary. Awesome. Over and out. Mwah.